So, what do you think of that? I love it. I absolutely love it. Can you imagine being on a train with these comfy seats, comfy pillows in a storm, and everything that you see out there? Look at that. That's water. That's the ocean. Oh my God. Hey, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? It is Friday night. It is Black Friday. Yay! I hope you all had a wonderful, safe, and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys focused on the things that you are grateful for. And I hope that you all had a time to appreciate one another and just, reflect on things, because that's what I did. I walked around my house and I looked at things that I normally complained about. And I said, today, more than anything, I want to look at every single thing that I am so happy about and what I'm so grateful about. You know, and not focus on what needs to be remodeled and what needs to be upgraded. I want to focus on how beautiful and how cozy my home is and how grateful I am to have my home. And it was a blessing to me, guys. It really was. And it was like, wow, it made me feel like the little things that, I want remodeled and I want upgraded are really not as big of a deal as I make it. And I realize that, I have a tendency, I have a bit of what do you call it? I think you call it OCD. It's like a form of perfection. It's like you're sort of a perfectionist. I used to be really, really heavy into being a perfectionist. And I went and I got therapy, and I actually sat down and had a long talk with my mother, and I had a long talk with my husband, and and it helped me to realize that you cannot find perfection in an imperfected world. And I realized that I had been a perfectionist ever since I was in elementary school. And it was so stupid, but the first sign of it was living in the perfect house, on the perfect street, in the perfect neighborhood, in the perfect state. That was the first sign of perfectionism or perfectionalist, whatever the word is, or OCD, whatever you want to call it, because different forms of OCD. And I think after years and years of experiencing life, it started to manifest. And thankfully, I am not on medication for that. But through prayer and through practice, I have learned to keep that thing under control. And it's always about progress. It's never about perfection. It's never, ever, 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 ever about perfection. It's always about progress. Perfection is another world. That's another place. That's heaven. That's not here. It can be in another dimension. It can be in another planet. It can be in another galaxy, but it ain't on planet Earth, right? So, it is what it is. And it's an important thing. It's so much to learn and be grateful for in this imperfect world. And I hope that you guys had a chance to reflect on that, and there's always someone who is worse off than you. And I know that could be like what people say, cliched, or you just get tired of hearing that. But when you really think about it, it is. Take for example, the storms that we've had so much of, people who have spent so much money on their beautiful homes and their beautiful cars, and the river just swallowed it right up. Houses that were people's dream homes, just washed away in water or destroyed by a tornado. And you see it all the time, and it humbles you. and it's like, you got to be careful what you what type of treasures you store up, here on earth, because everything is fragile. Like, there was a man in the news who he lived in a row house, and the house that was next to his caught on fire, something like that. And so he was out of town when it happened. By the time he got back home, various different people went into his house and stole his TV sets and his PlayStations and, his valuables. So he had to quickly, get his house boarded up to protect it from the looters. It's insane, absolutely insane, to even imagine that that would happen. So anyway, I'm not going to go on and on and on about that. I just wanted to point out that during this season, that to take advantage of the opportunity to really really do some deep mental cleaning. Get into your mind and think about what you're thinking about, and think about what's important to you, and think about what you're wasting your time on, or things of that nature. So anyway, that is not what this video is about. This video is going to be a little bit different. It is going to be about, I'm going to be in my Happy Planner Skinny Classic. And all I'm doing is practicing my brush lettering. And on these pages, I'm just going to be writing a title like, how are you today? What's up today? Or, just putting a header. And you can watch me do it while we talk about Mounjaro and Adderall and my update on my 7.5 milligram experience for this week. So, my journalers, if you're interested in Mounjaro, you are welcome. And my Mounjaro family, if you guys don't mind watching me practice my brush writing while I share my experience, then hey, this will work out great. So this is going to be a little bit about something for everybody. So let's just jump into it. Okay, I hope you guys can see. I have made some changes. This used to be my vanity table, okay? And I had the little mirror up and everything. And sorry that the lighting is dark. I bought a lamp for this table, for this little vanity table. And I've decided to make it into my little desk. My bedroom is large enough that I could actually have a little office right here in this section, and I can face the TV while I'm journaling and writing, because I realized that I was not using this as a vanity table. Yeah, it had perfumes on it, and it had, my oils or whatever, but I never sat down at the mirror and did anything. It was just really just decoration. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to reverse this desk. I'm going to reverse this vanity table. I'm going to turn it around so that I can see my TV, and I can sit here and I can journal along with my journaling and planning friends, and or just watch a movie or cartoons, or like in this case, I'm just watching a train. I'm having a train ride. And so, cool. And so now I'm actually using it. Whereas before it looked nice, but I wasn't using it. So here we go. And as usual, I'm in my old bathrobe. So you guys, pardon me for that. I'm actually going to go walking tonight. I was thinking about taking you guys with me, but I just said I'll just do my little thing right here, right now, and we'll see how this goes. So anyway, what's up? I put that on there. And this is, the best tea that you could ever Oh my gosh, this tea is so good. It is tangerine tea. I love it. It's so good. I can't put it into words. It's just good. All right, so let me start on my brush writing. So you have to tilt. I'm gonna see if I can adjust this a little bit more so you guys can at least see what I'm writing. All right, there we go. And you're supposed to tilt this and make it sideways and make sure that you don't put a lot of pressure. But this is a very soft brush. So that didn't come up really good. I'm heavy-handed, so for me, this is not going to be a good marker. I have my Tombow, which is and Futosuke or something like that, and it's firm, so it's really good for brush writing if you have a heavy hand. But I'm going to get a little desk lamp that I ordered from Amazon, and that's going to sit right here, and it'll be better light. Okay, so let's get into Mounjaro. I noticed that when I increase my water intake, and I mean increase it to where you're peeing every 5 minutes, I noticed that, I don't know, it seems like, okay, we know that water flushes fat. And I just noticed that by drinking more water, it makes things easier when you're in the bathroom. I noticed less constipation when I started increasing my water intake to 64 ounces a day. And I also noticed that I feel less inflamed. And I noticed, again, my rings were getting looser and I had to tighten them or adjust them, the ones that, are adjustable. And I noticed that this ring right here used to be really firm, and I can slide it off. I can slide it more now than I could before. So I don't, it's still firm, but it's looser than what it was. Let's see, the other thing that I wanted to mention about Mounjaro is just definitely increase your water. You will feel a difference. Go a whole week drinking a minimum of 64 ounces a day. And I always drink lemon water or lime water, do that. And just see if you notice the difference. This is my 3rd week on 7.5 milligrams. And I have noticed I've been having, like, waking up with slight headaches almost every morning. I would say probably the first 3 mornings after my injection. But I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, guys, it's only a 1, maybe a 2. And it goes away. I don't even need to take any medication for it because it goes away. I've noticed this past week, I've noticed fatigue, more fatigue. Like, I sit on the couch and I'm stuck there. I noticed, like, if after I work out, I have to jump into the shower right away. No icing my knee first or icing my ankles first. I have to jump into the shower right away because I get stuck on the couch. Seriously. So I just noticed this, oh my God, this fatigue. Okay, this is not a brush pen. This is a scented marker that I got from the dollar store, Dollar General. And I've had this for years. And it still smells like the strongest blueberry. I love it. I love it. All of my brush pens are in my bag. I don't feel like getting it. It's not important. This is just doodle stuff. Okay, that was one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for Mounjaro. I noticed that less and less people are having problems because they know what to do, and we're not going to talk about that because we know what to do. So thank you, Lord. And you know what's so crazy? Wegovy had the same problem, running out of supply, shortages of supply. So my advice to everybody is what it is has not changed. Do what you got to do, and shop around, and find you a place that will have no problem with your coupon, because I noticed that I've been seeing that there are people who are starting out on Mounjaro on their 2.5 milligrams, and they are not diabetic. Okay, so you just got to do what you got to do, and no, they're not using any fake codes or anything like that. But like I have said previously, we got something to look forward to in 2023. 2023, this thing is going to be approved by the FDA for weight loss, and we won't have to worry about having a code and all that stuff. And then probably in June, if not before, we'll have that new version that's coming out that's strictly weight loss, that is supposed to be even better than Mounjaro. Surmount 1, Surmount 2, whatever they want to call it. I don't care what they call it. I just want another $25 coupon to get me through a whole nother year of controlled weight loss. That's what I'm saying. And I can never be too skinny. We can get down to 100 pounds, because as soon as we ain't on Mounjaro again, and when we have the withdrawal thing, if you don't wean yourself off of it, you will have more of a worse side effect. Like people who get, what do you call it? They have the gastric bypass, and they always talk about, oh, I have no appetite, and the weight is just dropping off. Plus they're taking phentermine, plus they're probably taking Ozempic, so everything is just hunky-dory. But as soon as they can't take Ozempic anymore because their doctor doesn't prescribe it, because their A1C is in a normal range, and it's up to you to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And once certain things are just over with, your body comes back with a vengeance. And that's why people who have had these different types of bariatric surgeries tend to gain some weight, because you've denied yourself of so much for so long because of a substance, not because of willpower. So when that substance isn't there anymore, or when the surgery, you're past that recovery stage with the surgery, then your body comes back to what it truly is. So these fixes that they're pumping us up with it still shows me that you can take whatever you need to take, but there's going to come a day when it may not be available. Wait, that means today in Spanish. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is there's going to come a time when the hormone doctors are going to be able to prescribe us a tirzepatide compound, just like they prescribe the semaglutide compound. And we may end up having to pay $400 a month for that. So there's some serious options in the near future. Stay in touch. Always stay in touch with a hormone doctor, someone that specializes in hormone replacement therapy. And I'm not talking about the synthetic stuff that can cause cancer. I'm talking about bioidentical stuff. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is Adderall. Okay, now I had a friend who took Adderall, and praised it like he was in church praising God. I'm telling you the truth. Adderall is so awesome because it causes incredible weight loss, and it gives you all this energy, and you can conquer the world on Adderall. I have heard so much awesome stuff about Adderall for years and years and years. Well, now there's an Adderall shortage because people are getting it on websites, and people who don't have ADHD are getting their doctors to prescribe it for them because you lie to your doctor and you tell your doctor that you're having these symptoms, and you make your doctor believe that you actually have ADHD, and then they prescribe it for you, and then there you go, you got it. And the bad thing about it is your body adapts to it quickly. So if you're taking 10 milligrams, that 10 milligrams ain't gonna last forever. You're going to have to go to the next dosage, and then that's going to wear off, and then you're going to have to go to the next dosage. So you are going to be confined to Adderall for the rest of your life, because once you're off of it, the side effects of just not being on it anymore is crippling. So these people are losing all this weight and they're happy dappy. But the ones that really do have ADHD, their life isn't even functionable without this stuff. So for them, it's more than just losing weight. But for others, it's about the weight loss and being super person. But there's a shortage on that. I thought about taking Adderall. I thought about talking to my doctor. This was like a year or so ago, about taking Adderall. But I did my research on it. And I just realized that, it would not be something that is good for me. And it's because of my thyroid. And I can no longer take stimulants, because I used to take phentermine and phentermine for years. Now, after having thyroid disease, I can't take any type of stimulants because it gives me serious heart palpitations and almost like you're going to have a heart attack. So I can't take the things that I used to take. Oh man, I never had to face the music or face reality, because I took Dexatrim, I took phentermine, I took phentermine, I even tried to take Topamax, but I had an allergic reaction to Topamax. But Topamax also was a side effect of weight loss. So, and I would have taken Adderall. I would have taken Adderall to anything. But everything that you do in the present affects what happens to you in the future. And so I've spent years overtraining, and I spent years on stimulants, and and I blew out my adrenal glands and my thyroid. I messed it all up, and so I am reaping what I sowed. So any of you that are considering Adderall, I say go for it. I wish you the best. But I also say, please do an extreme amount of research on this thing, because the supply is short, the demand is high, and people who really, really need it are suffering because they don't have a plan B, because they put all their eggs in one basket. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is mixed bipolar. Anyone out there mixed bipolar? I am mixed bipolar, and I'm going to tell you what that is. Mixed bipolar, at least my diagnosis on it, and no, I'm not under any treatment for it. Well, yeah, I am, but it's not like pharmaceutical type. It is a compound of oxytocin that I get from a compound pharmacy through my hormone doctor. And I just take it as needed. What's so stupid is sometimes you get in that mood and you don't even realize you need to take it. But for me, being mixed bipolar is, my emotions seem to always be extreme. If I'm happy, I'm real happy. If I'm sad, I'm real sad. And if I'm mad, I am pissed off. And I have anxieties and I have foreboding. Like if you tell me that tomorrow we have a meeting to attend to at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when normally 3 o'clock in the afternoon I'm in a dead coma like sleep, it will affect me the entire week, because I know that there is going the anxiety of knowing that my schedule is going to be interrupted, that I'm going to be forced to do something, you know, that is an inconvenience to me, even if it's something I want to do. I'm going to give you a really good example of my problem with foreboding. I had to take my cat to the vet. I chose the time that was the most convenient that they had available. And do you know that the night before, all of a sudden, there was this extreme anxiety and foreboding of having to go there the next day. And I couldn't get back to sleep. I took NyQuil and I still couldn't get back to sleep. And it ruined me. It messed me up that whole day and the next day. And I was so pissed off because why would I be foreboding this? This makes no sense. And I forgot to take my oxytocin. If I had taken that, I probably would have been all right. I know I would have been all right, but I forgot to take it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something that you take every single day that's part of your regimen, you will forget to take it. And I forgot to take it and I suffered for no reason at all. So yeah, my mixed bipolar, you know, it's terrible. You know, there are times when I have, like one time I had a meeting that I had to attend to, and I didn't feel like attending to it, and it was virtual, and I had such an anxiety about it, and you know it showed in the way that I conducted myself at the meeting. You know, I was anxious, I was hyper, and they were like, something's wrong with her tonight. She's not her normal self. Why is she so hyper and upset? Why is she so anxious? You know, and they knew, you know. So, you know, it's important for me to think about what I'm thinking about and pay attention to what I'm doing. And you get so dependent on these drugs. And it's so sad because there's nothing out there to help you when and if an emergency happens where you can't get a hold of your medication. And, you know, my husband has experienced that as well. You know, his pain medication, you know, going on a trip and forgetting his pain medication, and the whole trip was ruined. Well, not the whole trip, but the latter part of the trip was ruined. So, you know, I wish that there was, you know, I don't know, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So I just wanted to just take a moment to share that little bit with you guys. You know, try to always have a plan B, because we don't know how long Mounjaro is going to be available for us. We don't know what the future holds. We just have hope based on what we've been told. So make sure that you have a plan B, and make sure that you're grateful for the little things, and make sure that you remember that self-care is not selfish. Not at all. It is absolutely needed. And because if self-care is not a priority, how can you function? How can you take care of the ones you love if you don't take care of yourself? So remember that. Have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful Black Friday. Oh yeah, before I go, my journaling friends, if you guys are still listening, I went and bought 2 sticker books from Amber Plans Her Day, which was 30% off. And I also bought 2 sticker books the overlay sticker books from Girl Boss Anna, 40% off. And I also went and bought some things from Amazon that was 40 and 50% off. I bought nail polish, the gel polish that changes colors when it's warm and cold. Like, it's what I got on now, but right now this would normally be clear and this would be brown. Right now it's all brown. So whatever. And I also bought Wrong. This is your year. I bought 5 copies of that book for $30 for the past few years. It is down to $23. $23 for the Black Friday sale. I do not need another Wrong book. But that's the only one. That's the one I love best. That's the one sticker book from Wrong where I use every single, like 99%, 98% of that book I use. So I just went ahead and bought another one just for the heck of it because it was $23. I don't need it. And you know I don't need it. I've showed you guys what I have in my sticker book stashes, that I have also rearranged since I last shared anything with you guys. I'm always changing stuff up because I'm always looking for things to be more feasible, more accessible, and more perfected. So yeah, I did that. All right, so I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Black Friday and be safe.